It's been 15 years since the Supreme Court's landmark ruling that the Second Amendment's right to own firearms limits a state's ability to restrict that ownership. In that time, firearms have become the leading cause of death for children in America. A new study by JAMA Pediatrics shows local gun laws could be contributing to that. For tonight's In Depth, CBS medical contributor and editor-at-large for public health at KFF Health News, Dr. Celine Gounder, joins me now. Dr. Gounder, what did the study find about the correlation between state gun laws and those and the rate of firearm deaths?
So what the researchers did, they looked at pediatric firearm deaths in each state in the decade before the Supreme Court decision in McDonald versus Chicago. So that decision expanded Second Amendment protections. They looked at each state's laws, how permissive versus restrictive those laws were. And what they found is that the states that had the most permissive gun laws, so where it's easiest to buy and carry a gun, after the Supreme Court decision, those states saw an excess of 7,400 pediatric firearm deaths as compared to what prior trends would have predicted.
Wow. So it's 7,400 is how much worse it would be in a more permissive state.
That's right. An extra 7,400 deaths.
So what do they have a sort of causal narrative about how that works, or the ways in which those more permissive gun laws have how it's played out in the regular lives of people?
Well, the thought is that if it's easier to buy and carry a gun, kids also have easier access to guns. Let's take two different states to give you an example here. So New Hampshire, which prior to 2010 had one of the lowest pediatric firearm death rates. New Hampshire after 2010, once the gun laws got less restrictive, saw a doubling of pediatric firearm deaths. That's in contrast to California, which has some of the strictest gun laws in the country. Mm-hmm. They actually saw a decrease in pediatric firearm deaths after 2010.
So what do states do with this information?
It's a great question. So while the study can't prove cause and effect, it does suggest that legal changes matter and kids are paying the price. Meanwhile, the current administration is looking to eliminate the CDC's Injury Prevention Center, which had been responsible for preventing injuries and deaths from gun violence. And even then, they were only spending $12.5 million a year on gun violence prevention research. That's in contrast to New York State, which is planning to spend this year over $350 million for gun violence prevention just in this state.